Um, it's been a while I went live. I don't think I was live yesterday. And I haven't been live throughout today because I've been busy. But there's something I just want to talk about quickly, and it's called taking care of yourself, taking care of you. Definitely, many people have a lot of people around them to care for them, but I realized that there's also a group of people that don't have anyone they can rely on, that don't have anyone that can take care of them. And even if you have someone there, you also need to realize that the person may not be there every day, or they can decide to change their mind, or they will not always be reachable, because people also go through their own things. So you need to learn how to take care of yourself. You need to learn how to rely on yourself. You need to learn how to be your biggest supporter, how to be your best friend. You need to learn how to be self-sufficient, right? As much as you can rely on someone else, but also have it at the back of your mind that you also need to have your own back. Should, in case that person doesn't show up every day, you don't feel stranded. It's like when people come out of a relationship or they get a divorce, some people are confused, right? They feel extremely lonely and they are disoriented for a while, because they always had someone to cheer them on, someone to support them, someone to motivate them, and now the person is not there anymore, so they literally have to learn how to live again. Even if you're not like married or in a relationship or anything, there are other ways that you can take care of yourself, and it shows up in little things like standing up for yourself. If you don't stand up for yourself, then you may actually not have anybody else stand up for you, and you're doing yourself a great disservice by not standing up for yourself, right? By speaking when you need to speak. There are times that you will need to speak up. There are times that you will need to say something for yourself, the same way you will not like it when someone else is being treated unfairly, right? We forget that that's the same way we stand and watch others treat us unfairly without doing anything about it, right? So you really need to take care of yourself, and that shows up in so many ways. From your health, someone joined the live here. I can see a comment. Hi Karina, hi Cruz, hi to everyone joining the live. I hope you had a great day. It's Monday, yeah. Hi, thank you so much, Baba. Thank you for the comments. I hope everyone is having a nice day, or everyone had a nice day. You can let me know where you're joining in from by just leaving a comment in the comment section. I'll definitely be responding. So today we're talking about taking care of yourself, right? Looking after yourself. So I'll just keep on with the discussion, and you can drop any questions or contributions that you have. So yeah, I was saying that taking care of yourself shows up in little ways. Let's start from your health. If you neglect your health, you are literally neglecting yourself. You are even abandoning yourself when you don't take care of your health, because health is wealth, and taking care of your health is in the little things that we don't even think um uh that we don't even think are okay. But there's a comment here, there's a very lame comment here, so I'm going to just delete that right now. How do I delete this comment that is so unnecessary? Okay, yeah, I've seen the button. Yeah, so yeah, I deleted that nasty comment. So moving on, taking care of your health, and it's in the little things. For example, taking a walk, right? Taking a walk improves your health. Taking your supplements, reducing your intake of sugar, sleeping well, limiting the way you stress yourself. I think we will come back to that later. Be mindful of what you eat, going for regular checkups at the doctor. These are little ways that you can care for your health, because when you care for your health, you care for yourself. Hi, Brianna. Nice to have you on the live. Thanks for joining in. So yeah, as I was saying, taking care of your health, taking a walk, taking your supplements, eating healthy. getting enough sleep, taking a lot of water, reducing sugar intake. Yeah, these are some of the ways that you can care for your health and care for yourself. Now, besides health, also another way that you can take care of yourself, you can look after yourself, is in your business or in your career. Oh, thank you. So Brianna subscribe. Thank you so much, Brianna. I really appreciate a girl's girl. Thank you for subscribing. I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here. So you can just go through my previous videos if it's something that you like. I do try to go live every day. So you can also catch me on any of my lives. I talk about different things. I'm sure you will definitely find some of them interesting. Thank you so much for sticking out. Also, let me know where you're joining in from. I do like to know where my audience comes from. So let me know what country you're from. I'm aware that all my audience are not from the same place that I'm from. So just let me know what side, what country that you're from. Oh, California. Oh. That's nice. That's sweet. I'm all the way in Nigeria in Africa anyways. So really nice to have you here. I really appreciate. You seem like such a nice, sweet girl. So this is exciting. So, anyways, back to the discussion for the day. Another way that you can look after yourself is in your business and in your career. The type of business that you even choose to go into says a lot about you and how you view yourself, right? So whatever business you're going into should be something that reflects you in a way. Of course, you go into business to also make profits, but besides making profits, you want to do a business that reflects your person. You want to do a business that contributes to society. You want to do a business that is worth doing, a business that you can be proud of. When you do something you love, when you do something you like, when you do something that you have passion for, or basically you don't necessarily need to have a lot of passion for it, but when you do something that you are generally proud of, I think it reflects and it also adds to your health because you are happier, you are more at peace, you don't worry as much as if you are doing something you didn't like. And even if you are a career-based person, if you're in a career you don't like, if you're in a career you don't respect, you should be making plans to leave, right? I know that not everybody is able to just quit their jobs or leave whatever it is you're doing, but if you're in a career or a space that you don't like, you should be making plans to leave. You should be making plans to maybe start your own business or move to another job. That's also a form of self-care. That's also a way of looking out for yourself. Now, if you're in a relationship or friendship or partnership where you are constantly being talked down on, where you're constantly being trampled upon, where your self-esteem is always at the wall front, where you are always threatened or you are always spoken down on, you should be making plans to remove yourself from that situation, right? Again, I'm aware that everybody cannot just up and leave, but if you can up and leave, yes, please go ahead and choose that option. But if you can't, be sure to make plans to leave. It's just a way of protecting yourself. It's just a way of looking out for yourself, right? You may feel like you are waiting for someone to help you, but most often times help doesn't come the way that we want it to come, neither does it come when we want it to come, right? Which is why everybody needs to learn how to stand up for themselves. Everybody needs to learn how to be their biggest fan, how to root for themselves. Everybody needs to learn how to protect themselves, right? I'm aware that some people cannot. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that wait for help and they get it, but then the ones that we don't hear about are the people that they wait for help, nobody ever comes to help them, so they either end up dying in their situation or staying in their situation much longer than they should have. So you need to know how to stand up for yourself. If you're in somewhere where you're continuously being spoken down on, talked down on, trampled upon, please leave, right? If you can't immediately leave, maybe because of financial security or other reasons, please make plans to remove yourself from that situation, right? It's just a way of looking out for yourself. It's just a way of taking care of you because you are really all that you have, right? There's a saying that they say, like, every man for himself. You are all that you have, right? If anything happens to you, other people are going to cry, they're going to be really sad, but like, what has happened, right? So you don't want medicine after death, which is why you need to take action when you actually need to take action. So you continuously need to be looking after yourself. I'm not saying be selfish, but I'm just saying most situations will require you to put yourself first. That's what I'm trying to say. Most situations will require you to think about yourself first, unless you have children, right? Unless you have like aged parents. But other than that, most situations will require that you put yourself first, that you think about yourself first, that you consider yourself first, because nobody else is considering you first, right? And even if you have someone else that's considering you first, just make sure that you're being logical about the whole situation, because people can abandon you at any time. They can abandon you like anyway, right? So you always need to, if it's something that involves you in a delicate way, you always need to be aware of the situation and the choices that you're making that, could really affects you. Another way that you can take care of yourself is in the choices that you make, right? I've said this before on my channel that our lives are a accumulation of the choices that we make daily. So you want to be sure that these choices that you're making daily, you're not making choices that in another 1 year they will come back to hurt you, right? You really want to be careful about the choices that you make, especially if they are permanent decisions, right? Especially if you're making decisions that have permanent effects, right? Some decisions are not that heavy because their effects are not permanent, right? It's something that happens temporary, or it's something that can be easily changed. But if you're making decisions that have permanent effects, you want to be really careful. You don't want to make the decision in a hurry, right? Such as who you get married to, where you move to. There are like some heavy decisions that they impact your life in such a big way. They can change your whole life overnight. You really want to be careful about making those type of decisions impromptu, right? You can make those decisions, but be sure that you have done a lot of thinking and the decision is not going to harm you in any way. Okay, I have a comment here from Tani. Hi, nice to see you here. It's been a while. It's been a long time. So today we're talking about taking care of you, taking care of yourself, right? I mean, other people will also, like, other people can step in to take care of you, but nobody's going to take care of you as much as you take care of yourself. And I realize that there's a group of people that don't have anyone they can rely on. There are a group of people that don't have anyone supporting them. So they constantly need to put themselves first and take care of themselves, and know how to watch out for themselves, basically. So I'm just talking about some ways where you can take care of yourself, even if you have family, even if you have people around you. Some people tend to neglect themselves, neglect their needs, neglect their wants, and at the end of the day, after so many years, they end up feeling like they wasted their life, or they spend most of their life giving it to other people without really doing anything for themselves. You get to a certain age. You said nobody will take care of you as much as take care of. Are you saying not even you get to a certain age that your parents will not be there to cater for you anymore? Don't forget, when you become an adult, you need to go after your dreams, you need to go after your goals, you need to become your own person, and you need to make impact in society. So you can no longer sit down with your parents 24/7 like when you were a child. I'm not speaking to children here, I'm speaking to adults. As an adult, you don't have your parents around all the time, making decisions for you, taking care of you, right? Because you've entered the phase where you are independent, especially if you are you're running your own business, you're running your own company, you work in a company, or basically you're an adult now, right? So you have your own life, you're going after your dreams, you're going after your goals. Your parents will not always be there to guide you in every decision, to hold your hand all the time, right? So now you're independent. Even for people who are married, right? I've seen people, like I said this earlier on the live, there are people that are married, and by the time they got divorced, or or people that were dating and then separated, it felt as if their whole world came crashing down, right? Because they never really learned how to take care of themselves. They never really learned how to be there for themselves, right? So it's like you've always depended on this person without having your own individualism, and now you don't know what to do. And even besides that, people who are married, people who have their parents around, I've noticed that some people tend to give a lot of themselves away without receiving anything in return. And the thing about sacrificing your whole life in order to tend to other people, take care of other people, put other people first, is that at the end of the day, you end up with regret, you end up miserable, and you might even hate the people that you sacrificed so much for, because you would feel like you did not get to live your life, fulfill your dreams, or do anything that you wanted to do, because you were giving so much of your life and time to these people. Yeah, so basically, like, there are so many angles to it. That's just what I'm trying to say in summary. But this situation of people giving their lives to someone else and then feeling miserable at the end of the day is quite more common than we realize it is, right? I've seen so many stories like that. Even when you talk about parents, like you can spend your whole life like doing what your parents want you to do rather than doing what you actually want to do. And by the time you're older, right, you can give your parents your 20s, your 30s, and I see people even giving their parents their 40s. So by the time you're 60 years old and probably your parents are aged and maybe they're no more, you might actually realize that you didn't get to live your life, go after your dreams, or do anything that you wanted to do because you were too busy people pleasing. You were too busy doing what other people wanted to do rather than doing what it is that you should have been doing. And so I'm just saying that you need to take care of yourself in some way. Like that's it. As much as other people, there are certain things that other people want you to do, but you need to realize that your journey is yours. Basically, your life is yours. Your life is not a reflection of like other people, and you're not here to please other people. Your journey is yours, your dream is yours, your life is yours, your goals are yours, and nobody else might understand your dreams, nobody else might understand your goals, nobody else might understand where you're heading to and why you're heading there, right? The dream has been placed in your heart and your heart alone, and the dream is yours, right? So sometimes we even try to explain our goals to other people and they don't get it. And we feel like, okay, because this is my best friend, this is my closest person to me, right? This is my sibling, because they don't understand where I'm headed, they don't understand why I do the things that I do, they don't understand why I make certain choices, they don't understand why I can't do certain things, why I can't go certain places, they don't understand why I work so much, they don't understand why I work so hard, don't understand why I give my all to this thing that is my passion, right? I feel like let me let you go because I'm not getting the support that I need. So I'm trying to say that you cannot sacrifice your goals, your dreams, your vision, like your purpose. Sacrificing your purpose is like sacrificing your destiny. You can't sacrifice your purpose because other people don't understand it. You can't sacrifice your purpose because nobody else wants to go with you on this journey. No, like your life is yours to live, so you have to like think about yourself, you have to think about your purpose, you have to think about why you're here. Most often time lives are individual race, right? Though I have seen a lot of people that collectively do things, but I'm just trying to say there's also power in individualism, right? And if you're in a situation where you're around people that don't understand why you do what you do, it's, I think that's fine because they can't see the vision. And sometimes as much as you try to make them see why you need to do what you need to do, you try to make them see your goals, you try to make them understand your dreams and where you're heading, they might never get it, they might never understand because the dream is yours, okay? It has been placed in your heart, it has not been placed in their heart. So no matter how much you try to explain to them, they might never get it. That's one thing I'm explaining. So I'm just saying that you should be bold enough to go after your dreams, right? And you should also be bold enough to take care of yourself, right? Like, there are certain times that you would need to put yourself first. I understand sacrifice so much, but I just wish there was a better way for me to really explain this. But I believe that the person that needs to see this message, the person that needs to hear this, will eventually hear it, will eventually see it. You need to take care of yourself. As the, you know, the Bible says, take care of, like, love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. It did not say love your neighbor more than you love yourself. Now, the problem comes when some of us love other people more than we love ourselves. We take care of other people more than we take care of ourselves. And the thing is that the people that you're taking care of more than you're taking care of yourself, they might not even realize the extent to which you are making sacrifices for them. They might not realize the extent to which you have to downplay your dreams, downplay your goals, downplay what you want in order to, give them what it is that they want. You downplay your needs to meet their wants, right? They might not even understand the kind of sacrifices that you're making. They might never get it. So they might not even reciprocate because they don't understand like the extent to which you go to make them happy, right? So they might never reciprocate. And if you're in that kind of situation where you sacrifice so much for people that don't reciprocate, they don't appreciate you and they don't acknowledge you, you might start to feel resentful. Do you understand? Because you're giving so much and you're not getting anything back in return, not even a thank you. For you to even get a thank you, you have to ask over and over and over again. So if you're in that kind of situation, you might actually become resentful, right? Because you feel like you're sacrificing so much and you're not getting anything back. Ouch, my leg. So yeah, if you're in that kind of situation, you might get a bit resentful. But if you take care of yourself while you take care of other people, you would not overgive. I don't know how to explain it. Like you will not extend yourself so much to the extent that you have nothing left for yourself. You have nothing left to rely on. You have nothing left to give yourself. Okay, it's like you give all of you to other people and now you are empty, and there's nobody else that can come and pour into your cup. There's nobody else that can come and fill you up. I see that a lot, like in marriages, friendships, relationships, like parent child relationship, like in different types of relationship. I see that play a lot where one person gives so much of themselves. If you're not the giving type, you may not really understand this life, because you're not the type of person to give yourself so much to the extent where you don't have anything left. But for those who are givers, for those who are used to taking care of people, for those who are used to carrying burdens, for those who are used to overextending themselves, they will definitely understand what I'm trying to say. So if you're that person that overextends yourself, right? If you're that person that always gives and never gets anything in return, I'm not saying to stop what you're doing, but I'm just trying to say that you need to start considering yourself, right? You need to start thinking about yourself. Like, let people meet you halfway, right? Not everybody can meet you halfway, but there are a lot of people that can meet you halfway. Don't give yourself so much to the extent that you have nothing left for you, and then you become resentful, then you become hateful, right? Because you've done so much. And we might act like we do everything out of love, but there are certain times that you give and you're expecting something back. There are certain times that you give and you want to be appreciated for your efforts. There's certain times that you give and you want to be acknowledged. It's fine, you're a human being. Those feelings are fine, and your feelings are definitely valid. So I'm just saying that when overextending yourself, like, just do it wisely, right? Just do it wisely. There are so many situations like that. They will come back and say, did I ask you to do that for me? Did I beg you to do that for me? Did I ask you to go overboard? So yeah, it will not apply to everybody, because not everybody has a big heart, right? I've noticed it. Some, like, it's something that you have to be born with most of the time. It's not something that you can learn. No, you cannot learn how to have a big heart. You cannot learn how to be really generous. You can, but it's really hard for most people. Okay, it's easier for generous people to not be generous anymore than for people that are not generous to even become generous. Yeah. So if you're that kind of person that you were born with a big heart, right? You're open to everybody, you extend your anytime they call you, you're there to meet their need, you're there to lend a helping hand, and you never get anything back in return. I think it's time for you to learn how to take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your um take care of yourself in social settings, take care of your business, take care of your career, take care of the relationships that matter the most to you. Like, as much as you pour into other people, right, instead of sitting down and waiting for other people to pour into you, I think you can learn how to pour into yourself. Yeah, that's what I think. Rather than sitting down with other people to come and pour into you, you can learn how to pour into yourself. So I think that's all for this topic, and we'll continue it some other time. Bye.